I interrupt this program to quickly bring you a quick bit of tidings that are quite wonderful for two individuals in our studio audience. That's right, David Phillips and Bryce Henderson. You have both won games from Restoration Games donated by the lovely Rob Davio. So be sure to email me at gameallnightshow@gmail.com and I will be glad to send you the link to how you can claim your prize. Congratulations, and be sure to check out all the cool activities going on around the show and prizes and giveaways like the current $1,000 Game Topper bundle. Look for details at gameallnightshow.com/gametoppers. I now return you to the regularly scheduled program. Well, hello and welcome to Game Time. If you tuned in last week, you'll know that I had Dr. Liz Davidson on, and today we are going to compete in who has the cuddliest kitten, and I crown her the winner because look at Cato. That
somebody really wants to help me game. So
he does. Hopefully, he doesn't erase any of your answers, but you know, I'm all for adorable cats. I'm definitely a cat person.
Actually, you know, he's a white cat. I've just been drawing on him with this marker all night, so...
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think I like your style. I wouldn't do that around Halloween. Gets to be a little awkward. So you guys get to watch the antics of Cato run around the couch while we get to play a little Welcome To tonight. All right, and just like that, we're back. So we have set up one game of Welcome To. So for those of you who have played, feel free to fast forward. Otherwise, I need to teach Dan how to play.
Please do.
Welcome To. So if I get anything wrong, Liz, please speak up. It's happened once or twice in my life, believe me. But basically, how a round is going to play is, Dan, you'll see up top here, you have 1, 2, 3 cards. All right. Now, those have two characteristics. The first is a number, and then the second is that there is an action associated with that number. All right? On each turn, you're going to select one of those to use, and everybody can choose from any one of those 3 options. All right? How we're going to do this is we each have our own little playing boards. So this game will play, they say famously, like 1 to 99, because that's how many you get in the pad, right? But basically, you are going to be writing numbers in the different houses across the top, middle, or bottom rows. The only caveat is they must go from low on the left to high on the right. They go from 1 to, I believe, 14 is the highest number.
Is it 15? I think 15.
15, thank you. See, I'm already doing things wrong.
I can run.
You must progress upwards in sequence. Now, what do all the different symbols actually mean? So, for instance, here you have at the top, you have the business, then you have the construction, and then you have that green landscapey palm tree thing going on. If you take the 2, you may also select one of the business categories. Business is a little strange. It allows you to basically, you block off one of the red areas down here, and it allows you to duplicate a number you have already placed on the board. And that may include like the 2 itself. If you were to take this first round, you could put a 2, and then you could put a 2 right next to another 2. It has to be next to it, and you write a little B so that you know you broke the rule, right?
I have a pedantic question about this. So how do you pronounce this BIS? Somebody was like, oh, it's French. It's a French real estate term. I know that bis in Latin means twice, which makes sense.
Interesting. I like it. But I'm thinking it's business because it's like B2B.
I'm fairly confident, actually, that Liz's derivation is the correct one here.
I would agree, 100%.
Because I've heard it used, in a like sub like sub 1, sub 2 type context. So I think it's leaning
like
on the
it.
Latin. I think is where that's coming from there.
So it's bis? Okay.
So we had
Yeah,
we
there's
had
a
the
saying-
perfect guest on.
We do.
for exploring
knew?
the.
This was not planned,
So-
people, but this is
The
great.
nerd phrase is bis das, si quito das. You give twice if you give quickly.
Okay.
So
There you go. You see, who says you don't learn anything on my programs, darn it?
And it
You
works
do.
perfectly here because when you repeat a number, you have it would be 2 bis.
Yes. So, couple things with that. Number one is you may repeat any number on the board that's already out, not just the one you wrote. A lot of people get that confused. They think they have to duplicate the same number. No, you may duplicate any number immediately to the right or left of where it already is. As you can see, the first two that you cross off, it's only a 0 and a 1. They're going to be negative points. Whatever you have exposed is how many points you will lose at the end of a game. So the first two are kind of cheap, but then they start to get really expensive if you use a lot of them. So use them wisely. You don't get to duplicate anything else about the number, just the number itself.
Got
So I
it.
picked the hardest one to explain first. So lucky me. All right, so moving on, construction. This is basically just who has the most, area majority. Whoever has the most is going to get 7 points, 4 points, and 1 point for first, second, and third place. And then the last one is landscaping. So above each row, you'll see that there are different amounts of trees up here in the corners. Landscaping allows you to cross off one in the row you just wrote the number.
Got it.
All right, and obviously you can see here again, whatever you have left is the amount of points that you're gonna get off that thing. That's pretty common across this board. Whatever number's exposed
Yeah.
is the number of points you get.
Oh, one note about the construction / temp agency. It also gives you a power, which is that you can adjust the number you picked up or down by 1 or 2.
Right, which I hate is not on here, but it is on the handy little cheat sheet that they give you right here. It tells you what you can do. So you are absolutely correct. Thank you very much. So moving on, the fence. So as you can see, we have solid lines that surround our development, and then we have these dotted lines in between. A fence allows us to section off portions of our neighborhood. That will be very important for the end of game scoring, especially in the round that we have chosen, because our end game goals are all based on this time around. So that will become very important. I'll explain that in a moment. But basically, it allows you to draw a vertical line. Again, the vertical line doesn't have to be anywhere near the number you took. It can be anywhere on the board. All right. The next one is the investment option, which is the purple money stacks going up here. So this guy sits in the middle, and basically this is going to score neighborhoods of various size. So as you put up fences, you're establishing neighborhoods. Neighborhoods are complete when they all have a number inside them, and then this will multiply the value of that neighborhood. So for instance, in this game, when we get there, we have 5 neighborhoods of size 5 are going to be very valuable. So it would make sense for us if we take this to do a lot of 5s, because they start off being worth 5 points at the end of the game, but they can go up to 6, 7, 8, and even 10 points per neighborhood of 5 completed houses that you have.
Got it.
So those tend to line up pretty well with the end of game scorers. And then we multiply them out. Again, lowest value exposed is what they're worth. The pools are really the last one to talk about. Basically, if you get a pool, now that is directly associated with the number. And if you put a number in where you have a pool, you may put a little P, mark a pool, put a little swimmer in there. I don't care what you do. Just denote that you use that pool, and then you mark off one box down here in the lower column, and that shows that you have successfully placed a pool. So with the pool, the number has to match where the pool goes. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
All right. Did I miss anything, Liz?
No, I think you're good.
All right.
Parks, pools, temp agency, real estate, BIS, and then just those project cards. Or
All right.
What I'm missing right
permit,
now.
whatever they are.
Right. So the other last thing here on the score calendar. So this is if you are unable to place any tiles. We are not using the this top section, but this bottom section. If you are unable to place, then you cross these off, and you will lose points based on if you're unable to place a number, which may happen towards the very end. Little beginner's tip, Dan, I'll tell you, if you look, you're going to be flipping your number cards over, and if you look in the top right-hand corner, that kind of tells you what the back side of that card has on it. So you can kind of look ahead a little bit and say, oh, on the back side of this card, there's stuff. Now Liz and I probably can't see that because.
Yeah, I can't see that.
But just so you at home know and playing along that you can actually tell that there's a little number. And honestly, it comes up kind of rarely or towards the end of the game or when you look up and you realize they're all green coming out, like all those little weird things that happen. All right, so last but not least is the goal card. So we have a number 1, 2, and 3 goal, and they're all based on meeting certain conditions. So Dan, if you'd hold the number 1 close to the camera. So this one means a completed neighborhood of 5, and you need 2 of them. All right. Now the first person to do this on the turn, and it can be multiple people on the same turn, will get the 8-point score. So on my little board, if I got that first, I would write a little 8 in the number 1 over here in the corner. And then that card flips over, and anybody else who does it the rest of the game gets the lower value. So that's pretty much it. The number 2 card is similar. You must have a 5, a 2, and a 2. So I'm actually going to write these down. All right, and then the number 3. What do you think that one is, Mr. Dan?
It's a 1, a 2, and a 6 neighborhood.
A 1, a 2, and a 6 on a number 3. So
Now, to be just so I'm clear,
uh-huh.
I have to actually sort of cap off a neighborhood, right? Like if I have like an isolated number here, that doesn't count as a 1 neighborhood until I've dropped black lines, built fences
Correct.
on either side of that, right?
Right, and there are
Yes,
black
the
lines.
fences.
Yeah, the fences, and there are fences on the outermost edges already done.
Okay.
So you do not have. To
But I am
draw
just
one.
checking, just for clarification, so the estates do not have to be on the same street, and there's no restriction to the location of a Plains estate. So you can spread the buildings out on different
Right.
streets.
Now, here's the other question. For the number 1 and 2, do we need to have separate 5s, or can it be the same 5s? Because I believe once you score them, you cross them off, and you can't reuse them, correct?
I believe. I would-
Yes, that is. Yeah. So it says, yeah, after an estate has fulfilled a city plan, it cannot be further subdivided. Also, it cannot fulfill another city plan.
Right. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to draw just a diagonal line through there to say that's closed, it's done, it's scored, and then you move on. So you'll, in order to fill 1 and 2, you have to have 3, 5 estates lined up.
Yeah, but you don't have to do them in order.
No, not at all.
So
And you might not even do 1. You might just go for 2 and 3. Now what triggers the end of the game, you might ask? So basically, there's going to be 3 things that could possibly trigger. They're on the handy dandy scorecard. The first one is that we run out of cards. That happens, I'd say, at least half the times I play this game. That's usually the way they end. The other is that somebody scores all 3 of the goal cards. And then the last one is somebody cannot place 3 cards in a row. So they basically blank out for 3 turns total in the whole game. It doesn't mean consecutive. But they filled up those red hexes down in the corner.
So we've identified the sub goal that I will be giving myself for this first playthrough, which is not to trigger end game via this condition.
oh, don't worry, I'll take care of it for you.
If it's any consolation, I mean, I have probably played this game a dozen times or so, and I've never seen it end that way.
Oh, no, see, that's not helping. That was the opposite of consolation.
Oh,
Challenge accepted.
you are flipping the card, so if anybody's going to make it happen, I have faith. I have faith.
Okay.
All right. So one of the fun parts is this game is literally called Welcome to, and it's left ... because we get to name our little towns up here in the corner. So I think we all need to take a quiet moment and come up with an awesome name. For the first real competition of it is to find out what our towns are going to be named. So, all right, so I will go with my horrible name, which is Bourbonton.
Well, I hardly approve.
Well, hey, we're on theme because I went for Ciderville.
There you go. Come on, Dad.
Yeah, there
bring
we
it
go.
home.
See,
Megadeth Overlord.
I could claim
Death Eater.
anything, given that this is very small, and I'm sure you guys can't see it. But I did break the lovely theme I think you guys were going for with Shanuda's Monastic Federation. I think.
How did you spell Shanuda? Did you get it right?
There might have been some cheating, and Google helped me to because my first pass would not have been correct.
No. Very well, very well. All right, so we start off with this selection. Now, Dan, when you get to the end of the deck, I will tell you what happens is the last card you flip comes over, and then we get the numbers that are on the backside of these three cards come out. So
Okay.
that is literally the last turn. So just as you build up that deck, you're going to be doing that action right at the end. So you get one more round at the end.
Okay, got it.
So without further ado, let's begin. And this is going to be fun because you all get to watch Dan, and if you see him make mistakes, I do expect a call out in the comments.
So all the numbers are in here somewhere. So like
Yes.
there are going to be ones.
And equal amounts, too. There's no bell curve or anything of that
Okay,
nature.
so I don't know how foolish it would be to.
Man. If I'd really thought about this game enough, I would have been like, oh, I know exactly how many there are of each number, so I can wait. But no.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's too much work.
It's so hard to know who we're going to place an 11 this early.
11's tough. But see, if 5 is pretty good because you can kind of go low with that.
See, and you only get to pick one of these, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I wanted the 2, but the BIS is useless this early. It doesn't do anything.
It's not because you could duplicate the 2.
I could do
itself.
2 right away. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But remember,
You don't want to abuse the BIS because that's a negative.
well, the
Ah,
BIS is kind of better, is more of a late gamer. But
Yeah.
you play your own game. My record proves that I should not play anybody else's but my own.
That's a hard
Yeah,
situation.
Let's just say that I did not get my PhD in playing roll and rights.
There
Did
you
not
go.
happen.
Until they're Latin based.
I'll just make the first Latin roll and write. Actually, I have translated Love Letter into Latin.
Oh, that's
I like
right.
it.
I did hear you say that on an interview. That sounds kind of fun. Like everything, all the terminology and everything.
So I went
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean,
and
you
took-
know-
Ooh, go ahead.
Got
Yeah,
it.
dude.
No. This is more important. I wanted to hear about that love letter than I.
Do you make them talk in Latin when they're asking, "Are you the princess?" You know.
Yeah. Also, you can do it with Clue.
Okay.
So you can like change. You can make a map of a Roman house instead, and like use Roman objects as the weapons, and
I like
people from textbooks, the stuff that they know as the murderers, and it's
I
I like it. So Dan, what did you pick?
I went ahead and took the 11 and the park here because I was just. I like the 2, but the BIS scared me, and the 5, I wouldn't even know where to put a 5 at this point. So I
I
stuck
actually
it.
went with the 5. What'd
Okay,
you go
so-
with, Liz?
I went with the 11. I put it on the bottom street, a little bit way in.
All right.
This one goes to 11. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Nice. No. That's all
All
right,
right,
flip away,
are we
Dan.
ready for me to turn?
Yep.
We've got a
So if you achieve a goal, just make sure you say so before we advance.
no
is
one
all.
did yet. I wasn't too worried about that one.
No,
we've
no,
got
I think you're safe.
3 park, 7 fence, and 8 real estate. Something I don't know. Whatever this
Investment.
investment. I do not think
an
that term
outvestment.
appears in the rule book. I think that might be a Chris original, but I'll take it.
All right. I believe I'm taking the 7.
Yeah, think about this. what foolish thing can I think of to do?
Well, you already came on the show, so I don't know what more we could do to you. Remember, low on the left, Dan.
And the fence can go anywhere, if I recall correctly, right?
It does, anywhere you want.
I took the 3. I'm being cowardly taking these edge numbers. I'm afraid of these Midlands, not knowing where to put them.
That's not a horrible thing, Dan.
No, it's not a bad choice. I decided to roll the 3 also.
There you go. And I went with the 7. I am like totally bucking the trend tonight.
I'm really curious where you're putting
You're gonna win.
5s and
It's fine.
7s. It's crazy. All right, moving
Go
on.
do what somebody else is not. That's my strategy.
That
Oh,
applies.
I
in-
like the 4 pool. The 4 pool is awesome.
Unfortunately, it's a 14,
That's a 14.
pool. I
That's
believe.
not so awesome.
14 pool.
That's awesome. I'm rocking this.
I can make it happen. Yeah, you in that bottom row.
I think the do things what other people are not is tremendous, Chris, in rivalrous games, but in a game where you have your own board, I'm not sure.
Don't
These are
try to
actually all
talk
good
fancy.
choices.
We have
I
a
think
triple.
I want a pool.
We have a triple pool situation, which, by the way, as the only player who could actually see the cards, I failed to note while we were
that
in the
was
last
coming?
round. Though I will tell you guys that we have 2 fences coming in the next round.
Ooh,
So we're definitely doing a pool thing, huh?
All right, so there's
definitely.
somebody.
The question is which? Those are actually great choices.
Yeah, I think my person's playing in the 14 pool.
Yeah, there's a good place to put that.
Yep. It was funny when I taught this to that room at PAX. You know how many times I drew all of either the same number or the same result? Like, it must have happened like 3 or 4 times. It was ridiculous. I felt horrible when it happened too. But it was kind of this setup, right? I had a camera with this projected up on a huge screen. So it was,
They deserve to suffer. Don't feel pity for them.
that's the way you introduce somebody to gaming, through lots of pain and suffering. That way you know
Yes,
they can handle it.
because nothing says fun like torture.
Exactly.
Why do you think most people who you play games with say, "Oh, I don't care if I win"? It's because we never win.
It's because of the shame.
All right, I took the 14, but I'm moving on.
Please
we got a
do.
9 investment, a 6 investment. I'll fix that.
6.
I'm sorry, a 6 fence and a 10 fence.
Don't fence me in.
All right, I can do this. I'm
Think,
taking the 10 fence here.
and I think I'm taking the 9 investment.
Seems good.
I want a fence.
Investing is
See.
often wise.
I'll take your word for that.
All right.
Yeah, what little money I've invested recently has not looked so hot.
We've got a 4 park, a 15 invest,
Ooh.
and a 10 construct.
I might just take the 15 to make my life easy.
I am definitely going to do that.
I do love this. Did you see they announced the release? I don't know if they're doing a Kickstarter for it or not. For Welcome to Las Vegas,
Ooh.
which is going to have different
Ooh.
boards, and it looks like very nightlife-y and stuff like that.
That's up my alley.
Yeah, I might have to check
Okay.
it out at Origins or see it.
All right,
Who
are we
makes
ready?
this, Dan?
Are we ready to move on? What was the question there?
Who makes this? Since you have the box sitting right
Sure
there.
thing. This is from Deepwater, or published by Deepwater Games,
It is. It is.
designed by Benoit Turpin.
There you go. Deepwater's coming up. They had a Roundhouse. That was a lot of fun. That was a good deep Euro.
Roundhouse. I don't think I experienced. I
haven't played it.
It's
All right.
definitely different.
Am I flipping?
You are flipping.
Are we all good here? I took the
Flip.
I took the 15.
Flip away, sir.
We've got a
When we
5
start rambling,
construct.
that's a good time to start flipping.
Yeah. A 10 fence. And a 15 fence. And I'm gonna actually start spinning the stacks because I'm getting little peaks at the numbers underneath when I do that. Here we go. So I hope you wanted to build a fence.
Build bridges, not fences.
Yeah, that works with some neighbors.
Yeah, what did they say? Good fences make great neighbors. Unfortunately, that would be a very expensive fence in my case. I share a lot of real estate with my neighbors. But then
All right.
you get to do the good old hidey ho neighbor. You get to play that card. Be that guy.
All right, Shanuda's building fences over here.
That does sound like Shanuda, to be real.
It
No
totally
pools. He
does.
didn't think that bathing in water was okay. You're supposed to just roll in the sand.
Oh, that's nice. He must have been a fun
Great.
person. He must have been to a lot of board game conventions as a monk.
It's a little too real.
Oh, sorry.
All right,
Sorry
move
to
on.
everybody who doesn't bathe. If you're not laughing, it's probably you, right?
Moving it on. We got a
All right.
14 invest,
Oh, God.
an 8 fence, and a 7 park.
Interesting. Wow, all the high numbers are coming out way.
Yeah, I'm rocking that
early.
14.
Taking it. So, we
Question?
have each other to bounce these rule questions off, but it's always been a thing for me, Liz. Playing games solo, I'm much more conscious of rules mistakes. It feels like a guiltier sense. It feels more like cheating than simply just playing a slight variant of the game the way it does. If we all made a common mistake here, that's just the game we're playing. But somehow in solo games, it doesn't have that same. I don't come away as happy about it if I make a rules error.
Ooh, so when I'm just playing for myself, I really, truly just don't care. You know what? Like, people mess up. I really doubt that many games are played perfectly. I think we like to tell ourselves that we did it right, but if you actually tracked games that people played, there would be a lot more errors than we realize. Like, I really think that. But it's hard to be on YouTube because I swear to you, every rules mistake I make, there will be somebody who points it out and somebody who takes it really personally that I messed up a rule. It's like, I'm really glad that your evening's quality hinged on whether I got all the rules right on this game.
Right. And it's
Your life
it's
is really
hard
exciting.
because, and it's one of the reasons why I never do I don't usually do rules explanations because we played a game the other day on the show and I completely got it wrong. But, it happens all the time. But, people, what's the goal of gaming? Have fun. If a wrong rule is going to ruin your fun, I'm sorry. But for me, it's not the life or death hinge that my games balance on. I'll put
No, like if you're not having a good time.
Exactly.
So I like to do stuff like Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. I don't even bother with the rules of that game because I'm not going to beat Sherlock. And also, I kind of want to read all the text, so I just read everything and take my time, and I don't even worry about it, and it's still fun.
That's just it, right? It's like sometimes the rule is a framework for you to work in, but sometimes you need to build your house a little differently, I guess.
I dig it.
They're just guidelines.
I like
Exactly.
it. It's a good.
That's why I
it's
tell
a-
the officer all the time.
All right. So while we were chatting, I did move us along. So I hope you wanted to build some parks this round because we've got an 8, a 2, and a 7, and all of them are parks.
Yeah, we like our parks.
I did that. Little Parks and Recreation.
I started watching that show the other day, and I'm struggling with it. I'm really struggling.
I'm gonna take the 2.
All right.
I'm gonna take the 2. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly that correct plays are rarer than we think. In one of my game groups, for a long time, we had a recurring sub game of after the night was over. You know, at some point in the next week, discovering the rules
email that
mistake we
goes
had
around.
made. And it was many sessions before we had a night that no one was able to find a rules error.
Especially if I'm involved, just because, you know, I'm more interested sometimes in getting something played, and then you learn, oh, that rule would have, oh, I see how that would have worked. That would have made it more interesting. That would have helped things out. It definitely comes into play.
All right, we've got 2 opportunities to invest at a 9 and an 8 park as the options for this round.
Yikes.
So I'm going to invest at a 9.
I'm disappointed by all the pool spaces I'm not doing the most with here.
I recall I've only pooled once.
And
I don't know how many
Dan,
opportunities there
I think
were.
I may have misspoke. Speaking of rules, I think I may have misspoke during rules. If I said that a like number can be next to each other, like it wasn't on tour, they can't be here. They have to progress. The only way you can have the same number next to each other is if they are a B.
Got it.
So if I don't recall, but I think I remember myself saying that.
I believe so, but I have not violated that yet. So
Fair enough. Fair
so
enough.
I'm playing correctly so far.
I am invested out. Like I am.
Well, there's more opportunities to do it because we've got a 6 invest, a
Oy
4
vey.
park, and a 1 bis.
Ooh.
We are not liking the pools, people.
Still not.
But I am. That's the problem.
And you have to take the park in the same row, right?
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
see, actually, that's terrible. I over invested in my top park already. There is no opportunity to take it there. So let's take a.
I did take that. I went for the park.
Let's go with a 1, and I have
Now-
to use my first bis as a result of that.
If you are unable to use the park, you could still place the 4 up top. There's no penalty. You just don't get to do the park.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, I actually understand that. Like, so I'm taking the 1 bis. This is actually optional, right? I don't even have to do the bis effect if
Correct.
I choose not to. Now, in this case, I will, but it could be a negative down the road.
Yep.
It will be 1 negative down the road right now.
Well, okay, yes, it could be a serious negative down the road. I guess is really what I mean
A
to
very
say.
large.
Yeah, just don't get addicted.
Ich bin du bist. I guess that's not.
All right, so we will go ahead and launch a 3B.
Is
a
that
Thribis?
bis with a T though?
A Thribis. All right, are we ready to move on?
Yep.
I'm assuming I'm the last in every round. We've got a 9 park,
Oh.
an
Man.
11 invest, 11 real estate agent, and an 8 build a fence.
Man,
I do not love these.
Gotta rock that 8.
as well you shouldn't. These
don't-
are rough.
I can build a fence anywhere, right? It doesn't have to be
Yeah, you can
adjacent
put a
to
fence-
even any buildings I've built.
No, it literally says a fence between 2 houses on the same street.
Okay. All right.
So no subdivisions.
No subdivisions.
All right, I'm going to go with the 8. And build me a fence.
All right.
Ready to move on?
Ready.
Yep.
Not hearing it. Everyone's choices all the time. All right, we've got a 13 fence,
13.
12 park,
Ooh.
6 fence,
Ooh. All right, I grabbed the 12th park, and I'm going to announce now that I just completed number 2.
Well done.
All right. Well, I'm also going to complete number 2, though. I feel like I'm cheating now since I had this information to work with, but
Oh, that's fine. It's a friendly tie.
it's true. We both get it. So,
Exactly. I do not.
I do have to figure out where I want to put my fence, though.
I have a very littered board. I have a little bit everywhere, so that's not helpful.
Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll put my fence here. All right. And then I have a 2, a 2, and a 5 to do that. And now, what am I supposed to be? How am I supposed to be marking these guys to show
So
that I?
see that bottom left column on your score thing? I'm like pointing at it on the screen so if you can see it. So right by your
Right. So
left
here's
hand,
where I put
right
the
there.
10 points for that. But then I want
Correct.
to mark these little zones as being used up by.
Yeah,
this
you
card.
just draw like a line above them. See that like white line that's around everything? Just
Got it.
color that solid line in.
Just mark that out like that.
Yeah.
And that, and that. There's my 2, and my 5.
Yep.
Yeah, so here's how I did it for anybody who cares.
There you go.
Got it. Got it. And that
Now
one
it's
is
only worth 6 points.
approved and 6 points for Chris.
Please tell me that was the one you're going for so I can feel extra evil.
No. But that would assume I'm going for things. I'm just kind of.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I move on to the next
Please do.
set of cards? We've got
Do it.
1 pool.
Ooh.
That actually looks like a spot to me. A 3
does.
bis again. I think I feel like I just think I used my.
We've had a 1 bis. Yeah.
And then a 4 fence.
I'm going to take that pool.
Yeah. I mean, they have been very rare.
Well, given that this is a card writer and not a roll and write, that means they're coming, right? That's
Yeah, but the balance of numbers to things is never going to be the same.
Sure.
Right?
Right.
You'll have the same amount of numbers and the same amount of things, but the pools may never come out that actually yield the results you want.
understood. All right, moving on.
I took the 1 pool as well.
11, it was very popular. 11 park. 6 fence. And more pool action with a 14 pool.
Ooh.
I cannot
That hurt.
take.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I could decide to take it, but it would mess up. Well, I could take a bis.
I put a family where they don't want a pool. That's the problem.
All right, what do I actually want to do? Let's see.
I'm actually going to take the 6 fence. Now I just need all the numbers that go in the middle of these things.
I think I'm going to do.
Yeah, I don't know how much room to give.
I'm going to put that park somewhere.
a few numbers. Yeah, I'm going with the 11 park. I just. Don't know what to do with that. All right, moving on. Everyone's good?
That could have been really stupid, but I just did something. Yeah, we're doing it.
One investment. 13 fence. Not getting the numbers I want. 8 fence. All right, I'll take the 1.
Well, sadly, I still need
Yeah, I'm going to take the
another
1 also.
symbol. I'm going to take the 13 fence. Now at least I have all my fences taken care of. All my property is divided. Now let's see if I can actually score points with them.
All right, we're below halfway in these stacks. We've got a 6 invest,
Ugh.
a 7 bis. I wanted one of those 2 things. And a 7 construction.
Ooh.
Which I've
But
yet
that's
to
kind of nice
take.
because you can adjust the number on that.
And how many can you adjust that, Liz?
Up or down by 1 or 2.
There you go.
I'm going to take the 7 construction.
I'm going to do that also. I'm just deciding where to put it.
I'm actually using
taking
it
the 7 bis.
as a 7.
Yeah, but I'm just going to take the construction anyway. Yay.
Yeah, same.
Is the construction a friendly tie also? I never had to worry about this because I play solo. Let's see.
I believe so.
In case of a tie, players score the same amount of points. Yep.
There you go. All right.
Moving on.
Moving on. I bissed it up.
7 pool.
Ew.
7 suddenly coming up left and right. I needed didn't need to need all of them.
Where were
at
you when I
once.
needed
All those 6 and 9s you drew earlier are really coming back to bite you.
9 construction and 10 bis.
Ugh.
Oh, that 10 bis is really tempting right now.
That it is.
Actually, though, the construction solves the same. No, I need the bis. I'm taking the bis.
No, I'm gonna go with the 9 construction.
I'm pretty sure Yep, he just climbed the back of the computer chair.
Nice. I'm kind of sad. There he is.
Haha.
Kando,
I'm
Our
kind of
ratings
proud of
just
him.
jumped.
you should be. All right, so I scored.
Hang on. I'm still picking.
3.
All right.
Hang on. Let me
Yeah,
be an idiot really quick.
I did not flip anything, so I've left them
So
in place.
1, 6, and
Yeah,
2
we're good.
across the bottom row there.
Nice work. Nice work. I'm still away from it. So you get the 12.
Unfortunately, it cost me 2 bis to get it done.
7 available to the rest of us.
Got it. If I even manage it.
All right, this is getting interesting. All right, moving on now.
Move.
12, real estate. 9, pool.
Ooh.
6, pool. Those pools are interesting. Oh, I should be marking off my pools as I get them, like down here on the track. Shouldn't I?
Yes, you should, but you can check. You can just count the number of pools you circled against the things
Yeah.
you've blocked off, and
Yeah, but
it's easy to fix.
I've done it twice, so let me go fix that now. Those
I'm gonna take that
numbers
pool
get-
too.
Those numbers get real big.
Yeah,
Eventually.
unfortunately, the pools don't work for me. I'm really sad about that. I can't make any of them work. Because they're all next to 6s or 9s. Can I get a construction? Can I get a pool under construction? That way I could move the number up or down 1 or 2 and build the pool.
If only.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the 9 pool. I'm being slow here, but we can do that right here.
Yeah, I did too.
You're
It's kinda cool.
allowed, Dan. This is new. So you could like totally make this with like forum cities and like, you know, bathhouses and vomitariums.
You could.
You know, vomitoriums.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
All right, 5 pool,
Ooh.
3 bis,
Ooh.
and 10 bis. I do not know about this turn.
Oh, I'm happy with this turn, Dan. I'm sorry to say.
All right, I'll go. I could have used some construction this round. This is not
Yeah?
falling into place. All
I'm
right,
trying
gonna
to
take the
gauge
5
how many
pool.
rounds are left versus what I should do. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a risk on this pool. Those sweet, sweet points. Can't pass them up.
Points are good. You know, it's kind of what wins games a lot of times.
Occasionally. That or bribery threats.
What did you take, Chris? What was your move here?
I took the 5 pool. I was happy to have
Okay,
that.
everyone went 5 pool, I think, on this one. All right, moving on. The problem is we're all going to get, you know, the same
The
points
pools
for
are
pools,
hotly contested.
and then it's not
They're
worth it.
jacuzzis. They're hotly contested.
Feels like it's not optional. All right, 5 real estate, 11 construct, 5 park.
Ooh.
All right, I know I'm taking the 11, no question about it.
Ditto.
Gotta rock that park.
Yeah, take that right here.
All right, Dan, I'm sending you some telepathic messages as to what I need you to draw.
But what am I flipping?
Don't
Well-
worry, he'll do the opposite of whatever I ask.
If you're lucky, you're asking for a fence. Because if you
No,
were
I'm
asking for a
fenced up. I'm
fence,
good. I'm good.
You might be in business. All right, are we good, Liz? Can I move on?
Yeah, I'm all set.
These stacks are getting small. 15 fence. I needed a fence, but not that one. 10 fence. And drum roll, 4 park.
Ooh. Trying to decide if fences are even worth it at this point. Like, am I going to be able to get enough numbers in anything to make it worth my while?
Right? It's hard.
So I'm going to take the part.
Yeah, as did I.
I need one last fence, and this one is viable for me, so I'm going to go ahead and take it.
I've not made the city very happy by doing their little projects.
Nope, no parks, no recreation.
Right.
Leslie, nope, I'm not.
Moving on. 13, real estate. 8, investment, real estate, same thing. Purple, how about that? We'll call it purple.
You're not listening to what I want, Dan, at all.
9 bis?
You
How's that?
still are not listening.
How's 9 bis?
At all. Yikes.
I can't. Well, okay, I guess I can work with the 8. 8 invest is what I'll do.
I literally have to go with the 13. I do not want it, but I have to take it.
I might do an investment as well. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oy.
All right, so that
Draw
lets
better,
me
Dan.
complete number 3. I have a 1, a 2, and a 6
Nice.
for 7 points. I am not getting a 3rd card. That's not going to happen.
Well,
Oh! Kitten fall. The game fell, but not the kitten. I'll just get my priorities right.
one of your children fell. Whether it's the game or the cat, we don't know.
The game will be all right.
Exactly.
All right, so we've got a 12 construction, a 4 build a fence, and a 6 invest in some real estate.
I would even take a bis right now, Dan. Really.
I had Abyss for you last round. I gave you, I hooked you up
Wow.
with Abyss, and you didn't.
Wow.
What did it do for you? Did it accomplish anything?
What have you done for me lately, though?
I'm going to grab that 4 build a fence.
Ditto.
I'm done with fences. I think I'm not getting to double 5s, but
But here's the thing, Dan. One of the best values on your board is if you get the real estate on the 1 and then you get fences, you can. They're 3 points for 1.
no, I got you. I see your
So
point.
they,
All right, I can work
if
with
you're
that.
stuck with fences, they can actually do really well for you. Is where I'm going. With
All right,
that.
let's go with that. Let's go with that. Let's do.
Yeah, and sometimes I don't always think that stuff through either. And then I'm like, oh.
Right, because you're like, well, I'm getting 6s if I put a point over there, but then you're like, yeah, but I have 2 1s, I can get 4 points there, so
Right.
it's the whole min-maxing thing.
All right, ready for me to move?
How many cards are left in each stack there, Dan, as you flip?
Are we? Is it that kind of min-max game? There's some.
Well-
There's not many.
Less than 5?
A few.
I don't know the answer
Is
to
it?
that.
Is it not? Is it too many? Is it not allowed? I don't know. Like,
We're going to play looser goosey than that. I mean, it's somewhere in that ballpark.
okay.
We're
well,
I
thanks.
think we're confidently
that was
under
a lot
10.
of ballpark. So Dan wants to have a little advantage over you and I. Luke,
I
at
also
this
do
point.
not know if as soon as I check, I'll know. Like I said, it's
That's
definitely
what they
under
all
10.
say.
It's all fun and games to tell you asterisk the game.
Look, it's that many. There you go.
There you go.
It's some quantity.
So we have a 12 park, a 7 park, and a 12 construction.
Wow.
Wow.
I can work with the 7 park. I can do that.
I think I might wreck the park as well.
I'm taking the 12th park though.
Yeah, that was less good for me. Well, I suppose it's actually 2 points either way, isn't it? Oh, would have worked. All right, moving on. Are we good?
See,
Yeah.
5 construction. I think we're definitely under 5 cards at this point. 11 fence. 3 investment.
Ooh. think we're doing 3 investment over here.
I'm doing 5 construction.
And I'll take 11 fence just to round it out.
I mean, that was a good one, Dan. I could have used all 3 of those, so I'm happy with that one.
3 roads diverged in a 50s subdivision.
I also close out number 1 for 8 points. I have a 5 and a 5.
Well done.
Nice. Oh wait, I also just completed 1 this team.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Because I wrote the 3 in. Oh, was that? And that was the first time somebody done it.
Yep.
Yeah, you get the full 8.
Sweet.
Full 8. Well done hitting it on that round.
Is that 3 investment?
Yeah. Well, I've been waiting for something low, but that finally worked out.
Oh wait,
I'm glad
no,
I
I didn't
didn't-
hit it. I confess, I'm wrong. I'm gonna get it soon, but I didn't quite get it.
I'm actually glad I didn't go for it because I wasn't. I'm several rounds away from getting it, so I was only going to get half points anyway. Okay, we have an 8 park. What it turns out was the final card here, by the way.
Ooh.
Oh,
I didn't know that until just now. 11 fence.
Drama.
I'm sorry, 8 park, 8 fence.
8
I don't know where
fence.
that 11 came from. And 7 bis.
ooh.
8, 8, 7.
You know, I
I'm gonna take that 8. That part.
I wish I could take something, but I have to take the hit.
What?
I cannot place an 8, or a 7. I am all jammed up in the center. It's like I ate a lot of cheese when I was visiting this section of the neighborhood. It's not good.
All right, I'm going to take the 8 fence. All right, and now what you're saying is I'm going to flip over this card to give us our
Yeah, flip it over first.
action,
Yeah,
and then I'm going to.
Oh, do we get one more?
I'm going to fetch the
the bottom
bottom
card.
to give us our number.
Yep. And then you've literally used every card in the deck.
All right, so we've got 10
Oh, that's cool.
invest, 9 park, 11 invest.
No fence. No fence.
I do not think I can legally place any of those numbers.
Okay, so it's 10 invest, 9 park, 11 invest. I can place them, just not really worth much to me.
So I will brick on the placement. Do I still get to use? Obviously, I
No,
can't
you
use the
don't
park.
get the bonus because you're not using a number.
All right, so I'm just going to brick.
Yep.
Fortunately, the first brick appears to be free. So
There you go. So now final scoring is pretty straightforward. Basically, you're going to come across, we carry down your totals from the top of the landscaping for here, and then you total them down. You multiply, you can write how many single neighborhoods, double, triple, quads, quints, and sex neighborhoods you have. Nice neighborhood to visit. Minus any points you have from bis, minus any points you have from negative, and that gives you your total.
all right, so where were we on construction? I have 3 construction symbols.
I have 2.
I have 3.
All right, so Chris and I get 7 points there.
So do I get 4 points or 1?
If it's
Oh, yeah.
as friendly as everything else has been, you'd get 4, right?
Go
Yeah.
for it. Go for it. We'll see.
I'll go for it, indeed.
All right, so what have we got? How many ones do
Yeah.
I have? 1, 2.
And
Now-
it doesn't matter if you scored them or not, Dan.
Now, I'm fairly confident, though, that this is not how it works. But to be clear, like I have this blank and a 4 fenced off. That does not count as anything at all. That's not a 1. That's not a 2. That's nothing whatsoever.
Correct.
All right.
It's a great example.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Looks like we got 3 ones, which is.
And I do not trust my math at all.
Out comes the calculator.
Yes, I'm not
Y'all are
ashamed.
such cheaters.
When I play Power Grid, I do not trust my math in my head at all.
You're not a math teacher. The pulling out the calculator in Latin classes is perfectly.
Hey, you know what? Actually, I co-taught math my first year when I was the special ed teacher. You know what? I hated math when I was younger, and then I went back and like sat in a math class. I was like, oh, so like being an adult, I guess, gave me some perspective that I didn't have when I was just trying to get through the class.
Right?
That's interesting. So many things probably fall into this category. We have to take.
Well, I wish. I have my friend, Kelly, who he's a physics chair at a local college, so the guy's smart. Let's be honest. But the math between him and my other friend Sean, he's an actuary. It's like I feel this big whenever I'm playing like 18xx with them because they are literally human calculators, and I just feel like. Sorry, I'm still looking at my revenue table to figure out what the heck I'm supposed to pay myself because I can't do 17 times 4. It's just it's horrible. It's horrible. I know it's 68, but leave me alone. But
See, I always just like divide it up. So I'll be like, I know what 15 times 4 is, and then I just add 8 on that. I just divide it up into things I do know.
it looked a lot. So this is the basis of Common Core, right? So what did I do? I know 17 plus 17 is 34, and then I doubled it, which got me 68. So
That works too.
it's just like sometimes we can get there, but it's not pure memorization. Although I wish I learned my times tables when I went to school.
Well, they only teach them up to 12 anyway.
Right. I wish we would have gone to 15 because that would have been very helpful in a lot of situations. But no. And I've tried to learn it. The brain doesn't work that way anymore. You can't. It's hard to stick stuff in that long-term storage anymore. So anyway,
That's just repetition.
it is. It really is. So Dan, what is
Shenuta's
your-
Monastic Federation managed to
that
score a grand 80 points in this
8-0.
game. 8-0.
All right.
80.
I think that's pretty respectable. I think that's great.
Appropriate. I'm pretty sure in one of his writings he says for 80 years I've been teaching the gospel. So
There you go. I think you're right. And what did you get, Miss Liz?
I got a 91.
You did. Outstanding.
Yes.
Outstanding.
How bad did you beat us? You sound happy.
No. No. Oh, you don't watch the show. That's cute. No, 88. We were all kind of bouncing around that time period. It was that whole middle when you guys started scoring, like my stuff was all over, so I couldn't recover. But there you go. If you guys got better scores at home, and I'm sure you did, for me anyway, be sure to leave notes in the comments. I'm curious if anybody, what they got, what their final map looked like. Unfortunately, I only got like 3 pools, a little bit of landscaping. It was a little bit of everything. So, this was a lot of
worked
fun,
out.
Liz. Thanks for playing.
Hey, it was a lot of fun to play with you guys. I love this game, and it was good company, so I consider that a successful night.
I know.
That's all we can expect from gaming, right, Dan?
Absolutely.
All right.
An opportunity to have a drink.
So absolutely. So Liz, where can people find you if they want to find you on the internet?
So I am Beyond Solitaire pretty much anywhere. So I have a website at beyondsolitaire.net. I'm Beyond Solitaire on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and also Board Game Geek. So
Awesome.
shout out. I love talking to people about solo games or gaming in general or just nerd stuff. So I'm around.
Well, thank you so much for being on again, Liz. I appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you around.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. This is a great time.
Awesome. Thanks for thanks for nothing, Dan. You flipped cards. That was about it. So,
Sometimes I had to orient them. I mean, I was doing double duty over here.
Oh, you were, but you weren't telling me how many cards were left. I mean, wow. Tough room.
I would have given the secret to those last 3 points.
Absolutely. Well, thank you at home for watching. We'll see you next time on Game Time.